passion, a devoted and honorable way of life. It is a heritage and a legacy that connects to one generation from the next and the force that feeds the world. Bonnie Moore, a famous agricultural artist, once said these very words to describe sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture is a farming philosophy that is taking the world by storm, and for good reason. When used correctly, farmers that practice sustainable agriculture feed the world while leaving a positive impact on the earth below them. Each individual farmer has their own way of accomplishing this task, but they all have some common goals. Growing or raising a product that will safely feed this world while leaving a positive impact on the environment and increasing the trust between farmers and consumers. Some ways that farmers are doing this is by taking better care of the soil that they grow their crops in, reusing as much as possible on their farms, and being as energy efficient as possible. Decades ago, most farmers had little to no concern for soil health. If it grew crops that fed their animals, it was good enough. They spread manure as well as synthetic fertilizers over each and every acre, regardless of whether or not it needed it. Today, farmers are being innovative and finding solutions that are not only cost-effective, but also beneficial to the environment. One of these new methods is the no-till farming system. This system causes less damage to the soil by not disrupting that natural rehabilitation process. This allows farmers to spend less time disrupting the ground, which is cost-effective for the farmer and also beneficial to the ground. Another way that farmers are saving costs and saving the environment is by a pinpointed digital system that tracks each acre of soil to see which areas of the field need certain fertilization treatments. This allows farmers to only apply the fertilizers that are necessary, creating a healthier environment. Reduce, reuse, recycle. You've probably been hearing these words for as long as you can remember. How do you reuse? Maybe you have a separate trash bin from your paper, or you try to live a low-waste life. Farmers across the world have been taking this concept and building upon it for years to get to the point where modern-day agriculture is today. An example of one of these farms is Kinnard Farm in Casco, Wisconsin. Kinnard Farms operates on a state-of-the-art facility opened in 2015, where they recycle many things, the two most prevalent being water and sand. Sand is an important thing for them to recycle, as all 7,000 of their registered Holstein cattle use it as bedding. It goes without saying that through day-to-day use on a dairy farm, the sand bedding can get dirty. That's where reuse comes into play. The sand is scraped out of the barns while the cows are being milked and transported to an on-site building. There, it is washed, dried, and piled. Once it is piled, it is taken back to the barn to repeat the cycle again and again. What about the water that cleans that sand? That water is filtered and goes into the cooling wall system. This system runs with fans and a corrugated wall. The water travels through a pipeline and up the corrugated wall and cools the barn with energy from the air and also from fans. This helps to save on energy costs, as there is less fans being employed, and also puts a use to all of that water. Lastly, a huge part of sustainable agriculture is being as energy efficient as possible. It's no secret that the point of a dairy farm is to produce milk, but simply the process of transporting milk from the cow to the bulk tank and cooling it from 101 degrees Fahrenheit to 38 degrees can be an incredibly energy-consuming task. One way to cut down on the energy needed to perform this task is a recently developed system by the name of plate coolers. The concept behind the revolutionary plate cooler is the use of pipes or other containment vessels to heat or cool one fluid by transferring heat between it and another fluid. In most cases, this exchange consists of a coiled pipe containing one fluid that passes through a chamber containing another fluid. The walls of the pipe are usually made of metal or another substance with a high thermal conductivity to facilitate the interchange, whereas the outer casing of the larger chamber is made of a plastic or coated with thermal insulation to discourage heat from escaping the exchanger. This allows farmers to harvest heat from their milk and save on that energy needed for heat. Farming has made leaps and bounds towards taking better care of the environment in the last 20 years. By taking better care of the fields, reusing as much as possible, and cutting down on energy needed, farmers are truly practicing farming, as Bonnie Moore describes in the opening line of her monologue. Farming is a passion, and these dairies are built to last. If farmers continue to have this same passion for sustainable agriculture, I can't wait to see what advances will be made in the next 20 years.